We worked on many creative projects and deliberately used and tested AI tools and pushed them to the limits. And I wanted to show you some of these examples. The concept for the brand design and packaging was so unique that for a startup with limited funding and resources, using AI to create these designs was the only solution.
Thank you for joining us today. My name is Diana, and I will be answering questions in the chat. I'm a co-founder at AI Lemon Academy, and today our workshop will be providing Sachin Kamath, who is my co-founder. I think we can start, and I will keep admitting everyone, and feel free to ask questions during the session. I'm happy to answer.
Awesome. All right, let's dive in. So today we'll be talking about creativity and AI design and how it can help you grow your business. Right. So before we dive into this topic, please share in the comments your biggest challenge with AI adoption. Right. And yeah, I would love to get a sense of what your objectives are and what is stopping you. Let the chat be active, and what I'll do is I'll continue with the slides. But think about this. We would love to hear from you. What are your biggest challenges with AI adoption? All right, let's keep going. So we know that in order to grow our business, we need to meet client or customer expectations and deliver value, right? So the client is always expecting to be better, faster, and cheaper. And that holds true for any industry. So now the question is, can our business be better, faster, cheaper, all at the same time? All right, so let's take a look into that. Now, you might have come across this particular diagram in other contexts. So when you ask for cheaper and faster, you usually get low quality results, right? So who would intentionally choose low quality, which is pretty pointless waste of time and money? And when you're asking for better and cheaper, this usually means it's too slow. But in reality, slower does not always mean it's cheaper. And we have seen that a lot of examples. And finally, the best one, the better and faster is always pretty expensive. In terms of value, this is actually the only thing worth striving for, right? So now with AI, you can get designs done better and faster without having to spend a fortune. We'll look at some of those examples. So generative AI, when used effectively, has the power to transform your business with limited resources into abundant possibilities, right? So it saves you time, money, and dramatically increases productivity. And this is true for creative and design process as well. So in today's fast-paced creative landscape, the rapid advancements in AI can feel a lot overwhelming. And we have heard this time and again. So creatives and entrepreneurs are facing significant challenges such as limited resources, that is time, money, and skills needed to create and deliver good designs. Now, there is also a huge innovation pressure and keeping up with constantly evolving tech and trends, right? This is what is the need right now, need of the hour to have that competitive edge. So when we talk with a lot of these creatives, design agencies, and entrepreneurs, we see them facing these major blocks which they're trying to get past, which is first the feeling of left behind and not innovative, that is struggling to keep up with latest trends and AI advancements in the creative space. Secondly, it's lack of time to learn, that is finding it difficult to allocate time for learning new AI tools in between all their tight schedules, right? And finally, not having any clear guidance, that is uncertainty about how to actually adopt these AI tools effectively in your daily creative process or design process, and which tools are actually best suited for your specific needs, right? So these are the blocks that we have seen, repeating every single time. And the transformation a lot of people, we really seek here is to stay ahead of the curve and discover how AI can amplify your creativity and help you generate innovative ideas effortlessly, right? So secondly, to fast track your learning and gain the knowledge and confidence to integrate AI into your daily creative projects. So turning you into an industry thought leader for your creative domain. And finally, getting those actionable strategies and insights to keep up with the latest AI trends and technologies that constantly keeps evolving. So this is where we make this transformation possible in the shortest amount of time. So a few of you know us already. I see some familiar people in the chat earlier. So let me quickly introduce ourselves to our new audience. I'm Sachin, and I'm an artist and a creative tech entrepreneur. Previously, I was a senior technical lead at Procter & Gamble. And Diana, my co-founder, who you just saw earlier, is an educator and a creative coach. So together, we are building AI Lemon Academy, where we provide expert-led workshops and training to help creative leaders, entrepreneurs, and designers to unlock the full potential of AI in their daily creative process. All right, so far, we have helped almost 5,000 plus creatives and entrepreneurs level up with AI design skills. So they have mastered using AI effectively in their daily creative projects, and it helped them grow their own business or careers. So our 7th cohort is just around the corner. We will drop the link in the end for anyone who is ready to take the next step and level up. All right. So with that, before we even started providing these AI training programs, we worked on many creative projects and deliberately used and tested AI tools and pushed them to the limits. And I wanted to show you some of these examples. Now, this helped our clients with limited resources to have high quality designs for their launch. And this is one of the first AI-powered designs that you see here. We created for a startup tequila brand. And this was around 1.5 years ago. The concept for the brand design and packaging was so unique that for a startup with limited funding and resources, using AI to create these designs was the only solution. It was better, faster, and cheaper, right? So that's what we were talking about. And that's exactly what we did. We used here GPT 3.5. So ChatGPT, you might be familiar, you might be using this already for ideation, and Midjourney plus Stable Diffusion, right? Midjourney, also you might have heard a lot of people, a lot of creatives use it. And Stable Diffusion is also an image generator. We use this for image generation from the concepts that we devised, right? So this saved almost 90% time and many $1,000s for the client itself. Additionally, once the prompt structure, the style, and the references were established, we could go on to create hundreds of variations around these specific design assets that we wanted to create. Now, here is another example of AI marketing campaign. So we can now create unlimited variations which are on brand at very less incremental cost. Now, these variations can be used to get feedback from customers and stakeholders to refine and nail down on the best designs before even having to spend a ton of money on large-scale design production and marketing, right? So that's the power of using AI in your design pipeline right now. And here are some AI photos generated with Midjourney for a coffee brand, also pretty early on when we were doing these design services. Now, imagine the amount of time you can save by generating images the way you want it instantly, right? So you can really get the right images, you can create the right images, and you can get control over it, and you can get to your final vision that you're looking for. So AI tools are releasing new features every month, and today you can get high degree of control over your AI image generators, right? So this is an example that you see over here of a perfume bottle, which is product photography, right? So take for in general example for product photography, using just rough product sketches and turning them into high fidelity mockups, just like you see over here. So going further, you can even further enhance it by turning it into an animation like you see over here, all by using a custom-built AI workflow. So from sketch, even before that, from a concept that you have in mind to simple rough sketches to high fidelity mockups, and then turn it into an animation, right? And that's pretty cool that it's even possible to do this right now. And this would take less than 10 minutes, the entire process, once you really establish it. Now, AI has also become an important tool for creating mood boards and storyboards for a lot of designers. In fact, this is, if you're a designer, this is the first step of any design ideation process, trying to collect as many inspirations as you can and then building up storyboards. So this not just enhances creative work for designers, but even non-designers can now quickly ideate to visualize unique concepts and create high quality design assets for any of their marketing materials or presentations, right? This was actually impossible earlier. So you do not have to be a designer, but being a creative professional, having the design background really, really helps to take the whole thing to a whole new level. But if you're a startup owner, if you have your own brand and you want to get things started, you can definitely use these tools and get going. And last but not least, you can create images that normally you would never find in stock image library, right? I have spent hours and hours together trying to find the right images. We created these images for a client of a beverage marketing campaign. They were spending hours on stock websites and Google Images to find a decent image that could go along with their marketing message. And with AI, they were able to generate this instantly. So what I like to say is imagination is the only limit today. So if you have an idea, a concept, with the right set of AI tools and workflows, you can really bring it to life. You can make it real. All right, so now all these designs that you just saw, they all look cool, but in the end, we need to answer what is the business value over here, right? So what is the value factor? So we have seen across many creative projects that we have that we can save design time up to 90% in some cases. And on an average, you can save up to 40% design time. In the process, we can save thousands of dollars and still get great quality and keep our clients happy, right? So that's the quality part that's fixed as well. So you can get designs better, faster, cheaper. Today, creatives are busier than ever, and now they're getting their time back thanks to AI. In fact, a lot of creatives who we talk to who have started adopting these AI tools, they say us the same thing. So 95% of the creative professionals using AI say that it helps them spend less time on manual tasks, and they can spend more time on creative parts of their job that they enjoy the most, really giving the whole idea, the concept, their own specific creative direction. And we'll also look into that as part of the framework. Now, the big question is, where do we begin, right? Where do I begin? Yeah, so let's get into that. We'll get to see the 4 steps that you can start adopting to get to that final stage, right? And this is a process that you need to keep going about every day, every week, so that you can reach that final goal. So we have developed our framework for AI adoption, and we believe that this framework, when you put into practice, will get you going and give you an edge over the rest of them, right? It starts with first having the right mindset, right? So we'll get into those mindsets. And next, it is about finding the right opportunities for optimization using AI in your current creative processes. So once you have identified this opportunity, you have to implement AI and give it a direction to get to your final creative vision, right? So that is not just getting any output, but the result that you were looking for. And finally, experimenting by replacing one tool or model with other and fine-tuning to get high quality results, which you can implement end to end and then scale. All right, so let's have a deeper dive into each of these 4 steps. To succeed in the AI age, we need to cultivate these three key mindsets. So the first one is curiosity. And this means exploring AI tools to find innovative ways to achieve your creative vision, right? Keeping updated on AI trends through LinkedIn, Twitter, newsletter, courses, and workshop, just like this one. So you're already doing this right now, and that is a great start. Second is collaboration. That is thinking of AI as your design co-pilot. You need to know that AI will not do everything for you. In fact, it is pretty bad at a lot of things. So you should think of AI as a design assistant to simplify and streamline your process from ideation to final visuals. And thirdly, it's always thinking of raising the creative bar and amplifying your artistic vision, no matter the tools that you're using, right? So with AI tools, it's all about enhancing and refining your creative work. Do not always lean towards using AI for cutting costs and replacing real human creative outputs, but augment them together to push new creative boundaries, right? So those are the three mindset I would love you to first start adopting, and then you can, of course, get going with the next steps. So now you have started exploring AI tools and you want to put it into action to see the business results. Therefore, we come to the second step, which is the opportunity for optimization, the second step in the mode framework. Here, the step one is to audit your current creative process. The goal here is to understand your existing processes and the people that are involved to identify inefficiencies and areas for improvement. And one actionable step here is to map out each step of your creative process from ideation to delivery and document these tasks, right? So just audit, document the tasks, the tools that you use, the skills that are needed, and the time that is spent on each activity to get a clear picture of your entire workflow, right? So this first step is very crucial. Just observe, audit, and note down. Step two is to identify the optimization opportunities for AI. Now, the goal here is to pinpoint areas in your process where AI can have the most significant impact, right? So one actionable tip here is to look for repetitive, time-consuming tasks that not many find exciting to work on, right? There are always such tasks around you. For instance, use AI tool for replacing backgrounds, creating multiple variations, and content repurposing, right? So these are some of the things that you can start with. So evaluate AI tools that best fit your specific needs, such as, let's take, for example, Midjourney for stock images or ChatGPT for coming up with concept ideas. And finally, the step three is to actually implement AI and measure, right? Measure before scaling. The goal here is to integrate AI tools into your workflow, measure their impact, and refine, fine-tune before you can scale. For this, you can start with a pilot project, for example, using an AI tool for a specific task, such as storyboarding, right? Let's take storyboarding, for example. Take that as a pilot project and track some key metrics, such as the time that you spent before, because you audited it earlier, and now you can measure the time that was spent. And you can also measure things like, which is very important, you can measure client satisfaction. So you can measure these key metrics and see how things are improving step by step, right? Use these insights finally to refine your approach before expanding AI implementation across your projects. All right. So the next step is giving it a direction. Now, I will not go into too many details here, but I want to leave you with this. Most of the time, when you use AI as it is, the outputs that you get are not unique to you or your brand. And you might have experienced this, right? Just type it in the comments if you have experienced this. If you have struggled with getting the outputs that are unique and in your voice and that you want to, bring as your own creative ideas. The reason is AI is only giving you results based on what it has learned in its training data. That is the data that has already existed in the past. But this does not mean you cannot get novel, highly creative ideas, unique ideas out of it. So how do you push those creative boundaries? My answer to this is each one of us needs to wear the hat of a creative director. We should be the curators of inputs and outputs and keep on iterating on our ideas to get to something that is uniquely yours, right? So you need to add your own twist and your own vision. Always keep an eye on your vision, guiding AI to the end result in each of these steps. For example, let's take, for example, from creative brief analysis and research, concept development, and client presentation. So in each of those steps, when you're using AI, try to give your own twist, but keep an eye on your vision. But also be a little bit flexible, because AI, when you're collaborating with AI, when you're getting new ideas, you might get very new ideas, which can take it in a whole new creative direction. I have seen a lot of examples like this as well, which has actually been a whole lot better than what was originally planned. So finally, it's all about experimenting. Start by immersing yourself in the world of AI tools. So research and find the many tools available. There are websites that list all these generative AI tools specifically for design, which you can filter and try them out, right? Many also have free plans. So dive into hands-on experimentation with them. Choose a tool that fits your creative goals. Take time to learn its features and abilities. For example, I love Leonardo, apart from Midjourney, Leonardo AI. And I try to go in depth and I try to see what are the different ways I can condition an image, not just with prompts, how I can use styles and images and things like that. So, for example, some tools might help you just to replace the backgrounds or relight the image or enhance and upscale. So don't fear testing different techniques, modify prompts, use image references, tweak parameters, and iterate on your designs. And after testing, you can decide which AI tools you can add to your design pipeline. Last but not least, take part in workshops, trainings, network, and engage with community. Share your works on LinkedIn, for example, and ask if there is a better way to do it. There are a lot of really good creators and experts out there. You can also tag us, and we are super happy to help you out, right? So do this to gather fresh ideas and insights to fuel your innovative experiments, and stay updated on the latest AI design tool advancements. All right, so in this one, I will run you through this particular slide to show you what the AI adoption curve in the creative industry looks like. All right, so once you have awareness and you start exploring with tools and with AI, the first step is using generative AI tools off the shelf as it is, right? For example, using GPTs, Midjourney, Runway to just get the initial assets out there, initial ideas, initial assets out there. Then you can go to the next level and you can learn to craft your own prompts for personalization and control, right? Most of our training program participants are in one of these two levels. Now, you can already do a whole lot just by going to the next step, which is after that, you can start building AI workflows with multiple models and conditioning, right? You can get a whole lot control over your final image generation or your design generation or your concepting. Further, you can enhance by fine-tuning for brand and audience, right? With audience-specific outputs, for example. This takes fine-tuning, and you can use models like LoRa's. Stable Diffusion is an amazing place to try these things out and experiment over there. And finally, only the big brands with lots of money can train their own diffusion models with large internal image database that they have already been gathering. A great example for this is Nike. You can Google for Nike generative AI designs, and they are doing this right now to create new shoe designs. And all of these steps should be done ethically and with human AI integration, right? That goes without saying. This is super, super important. All right, so now it's your time, right? So share in the chat one insight that you want to take from today's session. We would love to hear about it. What is the one insight that you want to take away from today's session?
Thank you, Sachin, for sharing. We have very active chat. Thank you, everyone, for participating and engaging. We are looking forward to see one insight that you want to share with us from this session. If we have questions, feel free to type them in the chat as well, and we will make sure to cover them. We have the first one from Priyanka, experiment and iterate. That's a good one. Thanks for sharing. And while we're waiting for the rest of the responses, we have a question. What are some good, easy tools to get in for newbies? Sachin.
Right. I would suggest you can start with Ideogram. So ideogram.ai is a great place to just quickly get your ideas and visualize your ideas, right? And it's great at understanding your prompts. So it's, I think it's pretty close to DALL-E 3. So DALL-E 3 is integrated with GPT-4 on ChatGPT. You can start creating images right there. So Ideogram is a great place, free to use, no hassle. I think you just have a bar where you can type your prompts and you can choose the style that you want. The next thing can be, you can get into DALL-E 3, where it's much better at understanding your prompts, natural language processing, right? It's very good at it. And the next level from there would be Midjourney. So I would say to get started, go ahead with Ideogram, try that out.
We have a comment from Christopher at pay for Comfy UI specific total training. That's a good one.
Oh. Comfy UI is amazing. You can build, so many cool things in there. And I spend at least an hour every day to explore, experiment the different Comfy UI workflows that are out there. So that's like, level 3, level 4. If you're trying to build your own custom workflows, Comfy UI is a great place. A lot of cool things can be is possible out there.
Previously, we had a question about what kind of free, if any, AI tools we can recommend for presentation. And in the comments, Rafael kindly suggested Gamma AI. That's a great tool. We just recently discovered it and tried it out. And they have a free option as well to just start trying and exploring. I would also recommend to try out Tome.app. If you tap Tome AI, you would probably also find it in Google or Canva. But depends on your presentation, if it's a pitch or it's internal creative team presentation, and what kind of images you need for this presentation and what kind of layout. But if you are looking for AI-powered tools, those are 3 to go: Gamma, Tome, and Canva.
Yeah. All right. So we are sure that AI-powered designs can elevate your business, right? If you're a creative or even a non-creative, like owner of a startup business, if you want to master AI in your daily creative process and not just keep up with the latest Gen AI design tools, but actually lead in your creative domains, then we are happy to invite you to join our 7th AI training program that is just coming up. And this next program will start on June 3rd. And in just 3 weeks, with our live training and hands-on projects, you will gain the skills needed to create high-quality designs with AI, right? So we have, for this specific workshop, we have a special offer for everyone who joined us today. And for the next 24 hours, you will get the special price to enroll for our upcoming bootcamp. You can scan this QR code with your phone and enroll today, right? We are actually looking forward to seeing you there. And in case if you have any questions, feel free to reach us on LinkedIn. We are super active over there, myself and Diana, both of us, and we would love to hear from you. Do tag us as well if you create something really cool and want some feedback. Very happy to take a look at it. And yeah, we can take some questions right now as well.
Of course. We have the question about the AI paid tools, services that we can recommend?
All right. So if you're talking about creative, process specific, design process specific, right? I'd highly recommend ChatGPT because it's so because you can use GPT-4 and it's integrated with DALL-E 3, you can start creating images right there, right? If you want to create storyboards and you are concepting, you're getting the ideas, and you can quickly start creating those images. And you can also create consistent images in there. So you can get your ideation process started right there. And ChatGPT simply because it's so much more accessible to everybody, right? There is, of course, Anthropic by Claude. You can try Gemini, but simply because it's so much more accessible and you can, it's multimodal, right? You can also give it voice commands. You can give it PDFs and a whole lot of things. There are GPTs as well, specifically designed for specific tasks to do for the design process. Midjourney is a must if you are looking to create visuals, right? So once you get a hang of how to use Midjourney on their app and get a whole lot of control over your image generation, it's one of the best tools out there, very, very high quality, right? So Midjourney. Then I would, if you want to try animations, there is Runway, for example, Runway ML. It has, again, a lot of AI models, but a great place to start with certain animation. And anything, if you want to try out Stable Diffusion, but you want to have a very simple interface, a web app, for example, and that's Leonardo AI. So these are some of the tools that you can try, get started on and get a feeling for it, right? And when you are ready to, take it to the next level, you see that you want to get more control. You start realizing the prompts aren't really working, right? Prompts can only get you to some place. It cannot do a whole lot of things. You cannot describe a person in a specific pose just with a prompt. It will not work. So there are multiple ways to condition images and get to the final output. Different models, different styles, a whole lot of things. And with this, you can get a high degree of control. And when you're ready for it, I think it's a great place to dive even further.
Yes, and we also have in the chat, what about Leonardo? What about other tools? I love Leonardo as well. And this is a great tool to start. They have free credits. So if you're curious, check out Leonardo as well. But from my side, Midjourney would be the #1 tool in terms of the design or photography. It's super powerful for creative projects. And we have the question, is the focus of the course more hands-on training? Would students be building any portfolio?
Diana, I think you can answer this.
Yes, of course. So we will have hands-on training. We will have projects. We will be working on concept design, on using AI for product design, and on creating images with Midjourney, as well as Stable Diffusion. Will the students create portfolio? It actually depends on the students. We are not demanding this anymore because we understand that many creative professionals who are joining our course are very busy and they don't have this kind of objective. But if your goal is creating a AI generated portfolio, we surely can help you with this, and you will have a lot of exercises and a lot of lessons that will be super helpful. And we are available to answer the questions in the chat every day. So we will keep you accountable for creating this portfolio. Hope that answers your questions. Do you go over workflows and processes? Yes, this is actually what we are doing. Yes. What AI video tools do you teach? We are not focusing on AI animation and video very much because we want to dive in more achieving control within AI image generation, but we are covering a little bit Runway, and yes, I believe that just Runway.
Yeah, we are covering Runway, and we do have extensive materials on Runway itself, right? And we have a ton of materials that you can watch. They are recorded videos. So and we have, the live sessions focuses more on demos and showing you the workflows. Now, the problem with AI animation is it's still not out there. There is a lot of hit and run, and you will realize this as you start learning and diving deeper. I think there is still some time left for AI animation, AI motion to reach that level. But if you want to create abstract animation and motion, right? Not some controlled motion. You can get controlled motion, for example, like to some degree, but when you want to create abstract motion, like abstract image to abstract motion, there it's very, very helpful. And this is what we definitely dive into. We don't dive, with many other tools simply because they are not good enough, right? And you will be wasting your time trying to get that control by prompting or by doing other things. It's simply not possible right now.
And we have another interesting question from Laura. Are there any online portfolios of students who have already gone through the class? Actually, honestly, we wanted to share the portfolios, but many creative professionals are using those images for their client works. So even during the bootcamp, they're working on the projects that they can monetize on. So no, we don't have online portfolios, but we have a lot of their feedback and recommendations and testimonials on the page about our course. So feel free to go. And also you can connect with them and see their works. We are publishing the works that we can on our LinkedIn page.
Yeah. We have this really cool collection of social campaign, which we had collected and we had posted it on our LinkedIn. I think, Laura, if you can connect with us on LinkedIn, we are happy to share that with you.
Yeah,
I
can share
really
the link.
Cool social images of students who created as part of the program.
And we have one more question. Images and animation students will work on that in the course. Yes, students will work on generating images and get in control with tools like Midjourney, Stable Diffusion, using their own sketches to create visuals, and then they can animate those images. Thanks, Diana and Sachin. Thank you so much for your question. I will try to send you the link right after today's session. I want to thank you everyone for your time. We're a little bit over time, but I hope that you have gained the value from our sharings and our insights. And looking forward to seeing you in our upcoming workshops or training. Feel free to connect with us. Links to our LinkedIn profiles you can find in the chat. And last time, we'll share the link to join our bootcamp for discounted price just for participant. And this price will be available for everyone for the next 24 hours. Thank you so much for your time. It was a great pleasure answering your questions in the chat. Super engaging and fun. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Have a great day, great evening. Bye.